I feel less nervous when I'm at the same level as my audience is, level of comfort. So I thought it won't be wise to have you all stand up while I talk standing. So better I only sit down. And if I feel nervous even now, then please know it could have been worse. Now, the first thing that you must have noticed about me is, of course, the way I walk. And that might have prompted you to guess the kind of wellness I'll talk about. Now, about the way I walk which is of course very slow. Now, I walk slow only because I do not feel the need to walk fast or do not feel the need to run. I am not chasing anybody or anything, and thankfully, nobody is chasing me. So walking slow is good. Why run? And the second thing about my walk is that I get escorted by beautiful ladies. So I won't talk about that. The wellness I want to talk to you about is the wellness of our life experiences that we never talk about. But the wellness of our experiences is the wellness which impacts our overall wellness. But the sad news is that we do not even think about making our experiences better, let alone doing something about them actively. Now, I've read somewhere, and not once, many times, that our life is a set of experiences that we accumulate. I've also read, not once, many times, that our life is too short to experience everything on our own. Now, how do I bring them both at peace with each other? On one hand, I have to build a life based on experiences. On other hand, I do not have enough time to experience everything on my own. What do? I learn from the experiences of others. And these are the two things I'll be talking about. One, let us have the willingness to ensure the wellness of our experiences. And to do that, let us learn from the experiences of others. Now, where do we find those experiences of others? There are many ways. I personally go to our stories. Stories of India, stories of Vedic India, Puranic India, legends of Ramayana, epics of Mahabharata, shlokas of Gita, strategies of Chanakya. I go to them. You can go to anywhere, but we must learn from the experiences of others. Everything that happens with me or with you becomes a part of our experience. But factors that impact that everything are beyond my control. So how do I ensure the wellness of something which is governed by factors which are largely beyond my control? It was summers of 2006. After graduating from Asia's finest commerce college, I wanted to pursue theatre and filmmaking as a career. So I applied at all the premier drama institutes of this country. And I was rejected at all of them. And the judges and the panelists, they told me very politely, very responsibly, that theatre training needs a lot of physical activity, maybe horse riding, maybe swimming, kalripattu, chow. So unfortunately, you may not be able to learn the art of theatre. Now, the only thing I told myself, I didn't have the courage to tell them, that all that is in your control is to decide whether you or your organization can teach me theatre or not. Whether I can learn theatre or not, you cannot control that. That is something which is to a certain extent in my control, and I would want to build further on that only. Now, back then I did not know this thing as a concept, but what I was trying to do is to convert an experience of rejection, dejection, frustration, despondency into an experience of self-training, passion, persuasion, dreams. What I was doing unconsciously was directly copying and pasting from what Mahavishnu told Arjun in the battle of Mahabharata. We all know the story. When Arjun became despondent, Mahavishnu told him very clearly, कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफल हेतुर्भु माते संगोस्व कर्मणि. Arjun, the only thing in your control is your actions. Results of your actions are not solely in your control. Then why can't you focus only on things which are in your control? And this is my message. We spend an entire lifetime in trying to control things which are not in our control. And we forget to think about things which were always in our control. However hard the situation in life is, there would always be few things, maybe two, maybe three, maybe one, which will always be in your control. Figuring out those 2, 3, 1 things is an experience we all deserve. And then working on those few things and then seeing situations changing and then seeing unlikable experiences converting into a likable one is an experience we all absolutely deserve. I had only been working on things which are under my control for past 16 years, and believe me, I have never had the need to ride a horse or fish out something from a pond of water. I have never had that need. Next important thing which governs our life experiences is the kind of questions we ask, and no one talks about it. We ask a lot of questions throughout our lives. We may not articulate them in words, but we ask many questions. And the answers we get, they define our life experiences. So much so that if you look carefully, all our epics, all our Purans are answered to a simple question. A certain question was asked by somebody. In Ramayana, Maharishi Valmiki asked a simple question to Maharishi Narad, and we got the entire Ramayana. In Mahabharata, King Janmejaya asked a simple question to Vedavyas, and we got the entire Mahabharata. Gita is a whole list of questions. We should not stay away from questions. We must embrace questions. But the interesting part about questions and these books is that they begin with a question and they end with even more questions. Like if you look at Gita, in the 18th chapter, towards the end, after giving the entire Brahma Gyan to Arjun, in the 63rd shlok of chapter 18, Mahavishnu tells him, Iti te jnana makhyatam guhyat guhyataram maya vimarshetad sheshena yathechati tatha kuru. Thus I have given you the most profound and the most secret knowledge of the world. Now think about it, ponder over it, and do whatever you want to do. Arjun is like, hello, Gurudev, you had been telling me more than 500 shlokas to tell me what should I do. Now you just bounced off a googly and telling me do whatever I want to do. That is the question. How I take it, probably there is a hidden meaning. And the hidden meaning is that we do not get better experiences by asking questions. We get better experiences by seeking answers. We should not ask questions, we should seek answers, which is a journey which never ends. You may not find the answers always, but eventually our questions will start getting better. And believe me, this world needs good questions, better questions. We spent ages asking wrong questions. But always remember that right answers come from right questions. We should learn to start asking right questions. There's a great poetry by Munir Niazi, who's a popular Pakistani poet. He says, Kisi ko apne aml ka hisab kya dete? Aml means actions. Kisi ko apne aml ka hisab kya dete? Sawal sare galat the, jawab kya dete? If the question is only wrong, how am I supposed to give the right answers? We need right questions. Because if we do not have the right question, then what happens? Then we have the most virtuous queen being disrobed of her dignity in a court full of the greatest men of Kuru clan, and all the grandsires, all the gurus, all the old wise men are grappling with questions of Raj Dharma, questions of Kul Dharma, questions of my loyalty towards the throne, my loyalty towards the king, questions pertaining to the rules of that vicious game. I believe that the only question that should have mattered at that time was, can there be anything more important than the dignity of a woman? Had that question been asked, this world would have been a different experience to millions of women out there even today. We need right questions. We need right questions. So after getting rejected from the premier drama institutes, I went back to commerce. I did my CA, I did my law. I earned many degrees, and once I burdened myself with those degrees, I had many questions. How do I do my theater now? If I do my theater, what becomes of the degrees? If I pursue commerce, what happens with my theater? If I do theater, where will the money come from? So many questions. Was I getting the answer? No. Because I was asking the wrong questions. The right question was, should this entire education that I have earned over years confine me and reduce me to do things that I do not want to do? Or should this education liberate me to pursue my passion, pursue my dreams? I got the answer for myself and for everybody else. No education should confine you to do things that you do not want to do. True education is the one that liberates you to pursue your passion. Once you do that, things do fall in place. Believe me, eventually they will fall in place. Like I am a CA and lawyer telling you stories about my theater. They do fall in place. And the last thing I want you all to know and realize, the importance of the battles that we fight on day-to-day basis. We fight many battles every day. Battles of ego, of power, of attention, of trying to appear the most intelligent and the most meaningful person in the room. Many battles we fight. I am not asking you to stay away from the battles, because at certain point in time, in some situation, you will find some meaning in those battles. What I am asking is, choose your battles and choose your battles wisely. Believe me, most of the battles we are engaging ourselves in on day-to-day basis were not our battles in the first place. You're fighting somebody else's battle. And believe me, the energies and the forces around us want us to remain engaged in their battles, because they want us to deviate from our own bigger battle. And why do we do that? Why do we engage in wrong battles? Because we like it. At times you might realize that this is a very easy battle to win. I may win it even though it is not my battle. That lalach of winning a small battle engages in a wrong battle. At times you realize that I am in the wrong battle midway. But how can I walk off now? Your ahankar does not allow yourself to resign from a wrong battle and go to the right one. We must choose our battles wisely, because once you do that, then you realize that this was the experience you were looking for. Always remember, Mahavishnu is not telling Arjun to fight every battle the way he wants him to fight the battle of Mahabharata. He is not giving a general discourse on general war. In every shloka, he is talking about this specific war of Mahabharata, which is Arjun's battle, and he must fight that battle with all his energies. After pocketing all those degrees, after pocketing rejection from all the premier institutes, I had a certain battle in front of me. I self-trained me. In a period of 3 years, I watched more than 400 shows. But believe me, the kind of plays that motivated me to take up theater as a profession are the plays that I am not doing at all. They are the plays I have never done in my entire life. Those plays only motivated me to take up theater as a profession. They did not motivate me to make a better version of those plays only. That was not my battle. I was not going to repeat somebody's work with +2 points. I wanted to curate a new language of theater, new way of making theater, new way of selling theater. Now, once I did that, once I did some good shows, other people started making similar plays with +2 points. Now, that was a very enticing battle. They are entering my turf. They have done +2, I can do +4. But again, it would have been a wrong battle. My battle was always finding new language of theater. And that is what I confined myself to. And here I am, having written 15 original plays with more than 1,000 shows all over India in past 10 years, engaging only in my battle. Having, having that willingness to ensure wellness of our experiences is something which needs more attention than it is given. We must try to control things which are in control. We must ask right questions and we must choose our battles wisely. Do not let things happen to you like that only. You may not govern experiences always, but then you're not always in the best of physical health or best of financial wellness. What do? You try to get better at it. Please try to get better at your experiential wellness. Believe me, you will never run out of stories. There are many stories to learn from. Keep reading stories, keep listening to stories. Thank you so much for listening to mine. Thank you. Thank you.